Hello folks, CJ here, and in this video we're going to be opening this box and talking about homebrew. We're going to be doing a bit of sterilising. This is from the Wilko's website. It used to be called Wilkinson's. It's a UK shop that sells homewares, that sort of thing, tools, etc. But they've also got a homebrew section, so I've done an order online because I've been interested in doing homebrewing. So let's get this box open and see what's inside. Okay then, so let's have a look what's in here, but first I think we're going to have a quick slurp. It's an absolutely roasting day in June in the UK, so grab a knife. As you can see, it's got the Wilko logo on it, my name and address. You don't need to see that at this point, but let's get this open. Now, like I said, I've been interested in doing homebrew for quite a while. My first ever experience of homebrew was a friend of mine that his father used to do it, and I'm going back about probably 20 odd years, and his homebrew, he'd bottle it up in 1 litre glass pop bottles, which is what we used to get here in the UK. You don't see them so much now. But he'd do that, and he'd have quite a few of them, and it looked like cloudy water to me. And I did try, he gave me a bottle to try, and it tasted of absolutely nothing. I have no idea what it was supposed to be. But that was my first impression of homebrew, and I wasn't impressed, to be quite honest. Look at that, even the cat wants to have a look. So I never bothered with it, but I love real ales. At the moment I'm mainly drinking Bass, which is a pale ale. I think I've got some here actually, let's have a look. Yeah, that's the one. Bass Premium Pale Ale. That's what I've been drinking at the moment, and I do like the stuff. It's very nice. Loads of bubble wrap and stuff. Let's see what we've got in here. Okay, so we've got a large, long plastic spoon. Okay, who's that made by? Muntons, that's made by. And I think, excuse me, bloody hell, that's that drink that is. I think that was about £1, something that was. Not very expensive. So we've got a bag of medium spray malt. Best before March 2019. Okay. We've got a bag of Wilko brewing sugar. I think this is about, I think it was around £4 a bag, and I think the medium malt, I think that was around £4 as well. But that's 1 kilogram, and from the reviews that I've seen, it's supposed to be really good stuff. So we're going to give that a go. Okay, so we've got a plastic trial jar for the hydrometer. And from what I've read for the reviews of this, I think this was £1 something. What you've got to watch with these is over time when you're cleaning them, this will get pretty frosted, so it makes the hydrometer a bit harder to see. And we have our hydrometer, wine and beer hydrometer, and I want to check that isn't broken because it is glass. Okay. Right, we have Wilko's beer finings, ready for use, sufficient for 23 litres, 40 pints. Obviously we'll be using that once the home brew's all sorted. And we've got Jervin English ale yeast, which is supposed to be better than the kit yeast, so I thought I mean, that was £1.65. I think the finings were £1. So that is got really good reviews. So I thought we'd give that a go instead of the yeast that is in our brew kit. Okay, we have handy airlock with rubber bung, and there's 2 of them in a pack, and I think that was about £2.50, something like that. I've worked it out for the entire setup to do a 40-pint kit. It works out to, with buying all this lot plus other stuff, because I've got Star San, I've got sterilising tablets, the stick-on thermometer should be in here, as well as a brew kit. I think it works out to about 53p per pint. So after this is all done, you're going to get your money back on the first 40 pints, because obviously if you brought 40 pints in this country, God knows what that'd cost you in a pub. So that's why I thought I'd give it a try. I've watched absolutely loads of videos on YouTube, and I thought, do you know what? We're going to give it a go. So this is a 23 litre. Okay, 25 is filled to the brim, and it's a Wilko fermentation vessel and lid, 25 litre or 44 pints. These, I've seen these for going around £18. This one on the Wilkinson site was a tenner. So I thought that was a pretty good bargain, personally. And last but not least, looks like our little stick-on thermometer isn't in there, so that's not good. Yeah, hold on, I'll go through the prices in a second. Now, this ain't a paid advertisement for Wilko's, you know, so I'm just letting people know in case they want to get into homebrewing themselves to see if they can be doing it on a budget, because obviously I'm not going to go out and buy the most expensive stuff in the world for the first time, because I might balls it up, you never know. Now, I brought the Sweet Nuki Brown homebrew kit because I thought that one, I love Newcastle Brown Ale, and I thought that one would be a good starter. So, right, let's get rid of that. That'll there. Right, let's go through what it cost me. The fermenting bin, £10. The plastic spoon was £1.30. The hydrometer, £3.50. The trial jar was £2.50. What we've got, the airlock with rubber bungs, pack of 2, £2.50. Yeah, there we go. The finings was £1. The Jervin English Ale yeast, where are you? That was £1.75, and that should do the 40 pints. I think it's 11 grams, that one. So the brewing sugar, 1 kilogram, that come to £2.50, the brewing sugar. Thought that was more than that, but that's pretty sweet. And the medium spray malt, that was £4.50. That was the expensive one. I knew one of them was around the £4 mark. And where are we? Sweet Nuki Brown kit, 40 pints. That was £12. That was. So I think what we're going to do is put all that to one side, and I'm going to have a go at cleaning this and sterilising it ready for our homebrew. So I'll catch you in a second. Right then, we've got all that lot unboxed. So what I'm going to do is, I do have Star San, but because this is brand new, I'm not going to use it to sanitise the stuff just yet. I'm going to use these Milton tablets, and for 23 litres I think we're going to need 5 of them, because it's 1 per 5 litres. So we're going to go with that. So let's get some kitchen roll out. I've tested the hydrometer and it's coming up at 0, so quite happy with that. Let's get that tap on. Now all I'm going to do is basically rinse these, put them down on there. Sorry if the water's a bit loud. I'm going to put them on there I'm going to rinse out the fermentation bucket, then we're going to put in the Milton and sterilise it like that. Good spoon this is. I mean, it's quite tough. I've seen the ones with the holes in it and they look very good as well. But for the money, I'm not complaining. Okay. Now basically, all I'm doing is rinsing these. I've seen on every video that I've watched, all the forums, that the cleanliness is the biggest part to this. I'm just looking because there's some in that bung there. Let me see, can you see it there? Try and get that out. It's a piece of rubber. I don't know. This is going to get it out because I don't want that. That bung is obviously going to go in the top of the fermenter to release the gases and whatnot, and we don't want that. I mean, it's only a little piece of rubber, but we don't want that sitting in our beer when that yeast is in there. I know that much. Right, that is totally out of there. Nothing in that one, which I'm quite happy about. So that's our hydrometer, and it looks like the test has come up quite well. Get rid of that. Might as well give this a little swirl while we're here. Not going to do any harm to clean the lot. And like I say, the reason I'm not using the Star San, let me get these keys out of the way, at this point is because it's a brand new kit. Once we've done our first batch of beer and we're using this regularly, I will be using Star San whenever it needs cleaning. This is only because it's the first time cleaning. Now, just rinsing this with a little jug, hot water obviously. And it does look quite sturdy, this does. I mean, it's got a decent handle on it. It looks like it's in there pretty well, so let's have another slurp while we're doing this. Lovely job, Lou. Now, I'm just going to give the outer part a little rinse. Nothing too special. Like I say, the cleanliness regime, once we've started doing our home brewing and that, it's going to be totally different. I won't be using the Milton as much, it'll just be the Star San. So what I'm going to now do is get this dried off. I'm going to fill this up to the 23 litres. I've got a large thing there for the water, and we're going to put our sterilising tablets in, and we'll see how we get on from there. So, okay then. Right, I've filled that. We are now at the 23 litre mark. So here's our Milton sterilising tablets. As you can see there, we're on the 23. So we are going to put in these tablets, and it looks like they're dissolvable ones. That's what they look like. And we're going to have 5 of those in here for 23 litres. That is fizzing away beautifully, that is. Now I'm opening it with the packet down here because I don't want the bits out of here falling in there. We don't want any cross-contamination, thank you very much. And I didn't get to where I am today cross-contaminating, so in you go. Okay, that's them out of the way. So, to get all our equipment in here, let me quickly show you them bubbling away. There they are. Okay, so they reckon it's 15 minutes for this lot. Let's put these in there. Let's get them dipped into the water, like so. And even though these items are plastic, they're floating to the bottom, which is good. Let's get our spoon in. Actually, we're going to need that. Come on. Go on, down you go. I don't want to put my hands in. My hands are clean, but I want to keep as much as I can out of here. I'm going to even pop the hydrometer in there, like so. Right then, and let's whack our lid on. Now, like I said, we're going to leave that for 15 minutes, and in our next video we'll be doing the Sweet Nuki Brown homebrew, so I hope you pop back and you give us a little look. I think this is going to be the start of something really good. Like I say, give it 15 minutes. I'm only doing it like this because it's a first clean for a brand new kit. I'll be using Star San, as I've mentioned quite a few times before that, but just want to get that point over to you. I am new to all of this lot, so any tips, hints and advice for our upcoming Sweet Nuki Brown, that would be well appreciated. So I'm CJ, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.